Hello friends, welcome back. I kind of wanted this to be a no edit type of video and I just answer your questions and not edit anything. But then I think it might be a little bit longer than I'd like because I can talk for days. But I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if I edit it or not. Or maybe I'll just do a good job and not ramble too much and answer your questions and be able to do my makeup all the way through too at the same time. Which is a lot harder than you think. Talking and makeup. Today's Saturday and we were just watching a movie. Kanye made breakfast and I think he's giving her a Pedialyte popsicle because she's been having like diarrhea diapers again, and I don't know what the deal is now because, you know, remember the last time she had diarrhea diapers? She had the Rona, a little bit of the Rona, and it lasted for a couple days. This time around, it's more than, I remember the last time she had the diarrhea, it was only like maybe 2 or 3 days. Now it's been going on, if it keeps up till Monday, Tuesday, it'll have been a week. I just keeping an eye on it. But she's still eating, no high fever. She's eating much more than, you know, normal, of course, because she's pooping it out. And I'm glad that she's eating and that she's just not, you know, more sickly. She's still drinking water. Anyhow, pray for her, please. Everybody else is good. Like we're okay. We're all fine. But I am trying to commit a bit more to YouTube because I feel so much more pressure when it comes to Instagram. I love reel making. I love taking pictures. I love editing. But I feel like I put so much on myself when it comes to IG because I know that a lot of you that follow me are on there and are from there. Like I don't want the pressure, you know? So now I'm finding as soon as I feel that pressure, I'm out. Like I will switch platforms, or I will just take a break entirely, or I'll just go on stories. I won't talk on stories because even when I talk on stories, I feel like I have to talk often and I have to talk a lot. But then I think about YouTube and TikTok and I feel like those places are where I want to put more of my talking into. So that's why I've been a bit more on it with YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Let's do some makeup. I don't know how much makeup. It's hard for me to focus doing this and makeup at the same time, and I kind of lose track of the order that I do my makeup in, or that I normally do my makeup in. So I just put on the Roche-Posay's Double Repair Face Moisturizer, SPF 30, Tolerian. I'm gonna put something around my eyes, like some type of moisturizer, or where did that thing go? Some type of moisture around my eye area, because I have heard that if you put, you know, if you prep the eye area well, then it's kind of like you know, you're setting yourself up for success when it comes to creasing and the longevity of, you know, putting concealer on and any product that you put around the eye. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't plan on putting like a bunch of makeup on, but just enough to, you know. So also my nails are off and I am loving it. I miss just having, I mean, I don't miss this look, but I miss having the freedom of stubs and being able to play ukulele like how I showed you guys on my stories last night, and being able to get into things without having to worry about this huge claw on my finger. I cut them all down because one broke, and then after that one broke, I was like, oh no, I can just go get it fixed, right? Get the gel acrylic or acrylic and then it'll be fine. But right after that one broke off, boom, boom, boom. It's like it's like a ripple effect when it comes to my nails. And when one breaks, it's over. It's over for all of them. It's just like they all know when one of them checks out. They're like, we're all gonna go too. All right, first question. A moment where you were really, truly happy. One moment where I was really, truly happy. Oh, of course. I mean, I was thinking of multiple, but of course the highest of them all is when I gave birth to Havala. And when she came out, looking like my dad. I mean, it was the fact that she did look like me, and she did look like Keli'i. She looked like the both of us, but when I really looked, she looked like my daddy. And I just tripped. I was tripping out. I couldn't believe it. That was what really broke. I mean, of course, having her and giving birth to her and new life, but the fact that she looked exactly like my father tripped me out. And if any of you don't know, my dad passed away years ago. I want to say 2012. Gosh, it was such a blur. But he had gotten into a car accident, I think when I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school, and it was pretty bad. He flew out the front window. It caused damage to his head. I mean, his head pretty much was like split open, and it was bad. And it was on Molokai. And because I was a boarder at Kamehameha Schools, I was at my dorm. I was on campus. I was living on campus. I can't remember, like it was so long ago. But the accident happened, and I think it might have taken people some time to find him because of where he was. He was over the hill. So he had gotten into an accident in his truck. The truck went over the hill and it flipped. He flew out. And because the hill was it was high, and you couldn't necessarily see the other side from the other side. You know what I'm saying? It was a two-way, what was it? It wasn't like multiple lanes. It was just going and coming like two ways. And so nobody could see the truck, and nobody could see him because it was on the other side of this hill that he flew over. And I think it was the field workers that found him the next day. I remember I got called one night to the office to pack a bag because they were flying my dad over to Oahu, to Queens, to the ICU. That started the journey of, yeah, it was wild. I mean, there were so many different things happening. I think my mom ended up in the hospital too, the same time that he was there. And my relationship with my father was kind of all over the place. It wasn't exactly, it was different because I was on Oahu, right? I was living on campus and I was in school. So it wasn't like I was like BFFs with my dad. I feel like when I was smaller, I was, because I was living back and forth with him and then with my mom. Things were kind of just different by the time I got to high school. And my perspective of him was off because he was into drugs, pakalolo and weed and alcohol, but mostly ice. When all of this kind of happened, I was close with him when I was in elementary, but by the time I got to high school, our relationship was kind of strained. And because it didn't seem like he was putting much effort into our relationship either, it's kind of like, well, it's like, if you ain't gonna put in effort, then I ain't either. I think my mom and him were together like when they had me years ago, but then they had gotten divorced, or they got separated, and then they were married again for a short time. And that was where we get into this whole other chapter of his health. And honestly, if things had gone differently, he would probably still be alive to this day. But the problem was, because my mom and him had gotten divorced right before, I want to say like a month or a couple weeks before the accident happened, like everything was finalized. And because I wasn't of age yet, the only person that could get power of attorney was his younger brother. And I'm going to stop right there because that is, like I said, a whole nother story. I am praying for the day that God opens up the opportunity that I get to confront him and that I get to see him again. I really just need to let that part go, and how I felt and how things maybe could have happened differently because of certain, other people, different situations, whatever the case was. He's gone now. He's probably in the best places he could possibly be, because my auntie and her husband led him to the Lord. Even though I feel like he always knew Jesus because he grew up in the church. I mean, my grandma, his mom, was heavy Nazarene, the Nazarene church. So he always knew the Lord. But of course, in the last, few years of his life, it was heavy drugs. Life happened, and it happened to him that way. But he's in heaven now, guys, so I'm rejoicing because of that, because I know I'll get to see him again, for sure. But that is one of the moments where I was really truly happy, was the fact that and she still looks like my dad. I mean, she looks like us, but when I see her, I see my dad. I mean, I see a spitting image, a reflection of my daddy, and I love that. I think God is very gracious towards me because of that, because I've always loved him. I always cared about him, and he took such good care of me when I was going back and forth between him and my mom. My mom lived in town and he lived about like 15-20 minutes away up in Ho'olehua. There was a point where I wanted to stay with him, and I did stay with him, and he was taking me to school. I was in elementary. My elementary school was maybe like 5 minutes away. Caught the bus. I mean, the whole routine was the same. But I do think that there was a little bit of sexual abuse. Sorry if that's triggering, but there was a little bit of that, and I didn't even know it because I was so young until the Lord revealed it to me after I graduated high school, that that's what it was. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not okay. So that happened then, but he was good to me. You know, he was so good to me. He was a good dad. I want to say that he did the best that he could, and I'm just grateful that I get to be reminded of the good that happened between us when I look at Havila and just seeing his face in her. So my favorite pictures of my baby Havila. Oh yes, girl, I'll just plaster it all right here. My favorite pictures of her, or I'll put one by one. Those are some. And then when we went to the beach and when she was first born, those will probably be my most favorite. I think 3 or 4 that I love so much and I want to get printed, but it's when she's wrapped in her swaddle and she has her little beanie with the bow on, and then it's another one where she has the pink beanie with like that floral pastel green onesie. It's like the footsie one, and she's just looking at me and her little binky is right there next to her. And then there's the one of me, her, and her daddy in the hospital room, and then the one of her in the bassinet and with the sign, and she has her that big old green bow on her head. Those are probably my most favorite. Next one, my favorite trip. Oh yes, okay, I want to say when I went to Texas, but I want to say that my most favorite trip was off island, and when my husband and I first were talking. I honestly had no idea that he liked me, and that I kind of had an idea that he liked me because he was hanging around me quite often and a lot. That was my favorite because we just got to spend time with each other, and he was just so good looking with his calo jacket, and it was the last night of our work trip, and it was just so much fun. And I had fun. I wish we had gotten a bit more time to hang out, because that was when our work trips were really like back to back. It was pretty jam-packed with activities and work stuff, so we didn't get much time. But that was the night when we really got to talk story a little bit more. We got to get to know each other a little bit more, and it was really fun. It was, yeah, it still makes me smile. Of course it does. Of course it does. I don't know, maybe I should just go in straight with eyeshadow. What I want to do with this look is I want to use 1 or 2 eyeshadows. I don't want to do anything fancy. I'm not trying to be here all day, y'all. I'm not going anywhere. Well, we do have plans to go somewhere tonight for my husband's grandma's birthday. But other than that, that's not till tonight, and it's only 12 o'clock. And I think the party is like at 5. My favorite high school memory. Oh, 2. I have 2 favorite high school memories. 1, song contests, and everything that comes with song contests. The singing, the practicing, the rehearsing, and I was in Ho'ike 3 years. And then the other one I was gonna mention was, I was gonna say going to the Big Island, going to Kona, but then I thought about living on campus and being a boarder and living in Kinauhale with all my dorm sisters. I loved that. I mean, that was fun. That was really fun. And I don't know if the experience is the same. I heard now it's like co-ed, but I love that season, being up there with my dorm sisters and just being independent. You know, it's basically it's like a college experience, but in high school. I mean, you just live on your own and you do your thing. You make sure you check in, you get to breakfast on time, you make your bed, you clean your room, and you do your homework, and you get the weekends off. You can go check out with one of your sponsors or those that are, you know, your family, or you can stay on campus. They take you to Ala Moana, Pearl Ridge. Talk about spoiled. Okay, to this, I will never stop saying that we were, the time that I was there, those 4 years that I was there, the best. So I already know that I'm gonna stop this camera because I'm gonna do a quick eye look using the Tati Beauty palette. I'm just gonna do, oh my gosh, I really want to use these orange shades. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. I'm not gonna do much, hopefully. So say a prayer and I'll be right back. Okay, what do we think? Burnt orange, is that the vibe? Is that the vibe? It kind of goes good with my Instagram feed. That's kind of why I went with this orange. I gotta put my hair up, it's getting hot. And y'all already know about the situation with my eyelash, right? You see that? You see that huge hole there? Yes, that's my own fault. My eyelash color was dirty again. I'm actually gonna put on falsies. I'm gonna put on these wispies by Ardell. Quick tip before I keep going with the responses. These on me look so much better when I have eyeshadow on. They don't look good with me without it. I'll put a picture up here when I did that kind of glam brown smoky eye look with my contacts on, and I have them on in this picture. Isn't that crazy? Like, those are wispies. Those are Ardell $2 wispies from Target. But if I were to put them on with no makeup on at all, or just like a brow, like even simple brow, lip gloss, and mascara, I feel like they make me look worse. I recently picked up this MAC Dazzle Shadow in liquid, MAC Dazzle Shadow Liquid in Blinking Brilliant, and I really want to put this on the inner corner with this orange. I think so. Or maybe a little bit later, if I can manage to get these lashes on properly this time. Aloha, love you and your ohana. How are you, mom, wife, yourself? Girl, I'm good. Honestly, blessed. But I will say, when it comes to like working out, when it comes to exercising, just today, even yesterday, from when I went out with my sister a couple nights ago, I went crazy. Like, we had, come on, I'm just gonna be real. Like, we had a couple glasses of wine. I mean, I went in, okay? She wanted McDonald's, so we went and got McDonald's. Like, I didn't go overboard with McDonald's. What I did go overboard with was my, like those charcuterie, we didn't make a charcuterie board. Meat, cheese, and the crackers, girl. And the dip, it's an artichoke, garlic, period. I mean, I kind of went 280 with that, and I was just going at it because I hadn't eaten anything all day, which is probably setting myself up for failure, maybe starving myself. But we didn't have time to go out that night. She kind of just was like, you want to go? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we went. I kind of went in with those charcuterie board items, but it was so ono, and no regrets, girl, no regrets. So because of that, getting back to my point, the question was how I was. So this is where I'm at right now, because it came up again this morning. I put the pressure on myself now because I've been doing these Grow with Joe workouts for, I want to say October will be 3 months, 2 months. I've been doing them consistently, like 5 days a week. And if I miss a day during the day, like during the week, I will try and get a workout in or an exercise in on the weekend. If not 2, because she schedules 2, right? And she said recently that she doesn't schedule them that, you know, to make us feel like we have to do both. It's just, she gives us options. But for me, in my mind, I see 2 videos on a schedule. I need to do 2 videos. Like, I need to do both. And she breaks it down like this, where she does one in the morning and then she does one in the evening. So it makes sense. But for the, you know, the average person, the beginner, no pressure, you don't need to do 2. But like I said, in my mind, I gotta do 2. This week's one is a little bit more of a challenge because, wait, let me hold my breath real quick while I put this lash on. Is it rare? Does it look weird? I think it looks good. I hope so. The pressure is on. It has been on for quite some time, to be expected, right? Because I'm over here going hard 5 days a week. When my sister and I went out, it just felt differently. Like, now I can discern between it being a joy and being something that I look forward to, rather than something that I feel like, oh, I gotta make sure that I do this, or because I went out last night, I gotta make sure that I go extra hard today. That is a red light to me. I'm trying to be a lot more careful when it comes to thoughts like that. When that's my perspective, oh no, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the exact opposite of what you feel like you're being pressured. You're pressuring yourself to do. So if you feel like you need to work out and it feels like a chore, like it feels something you feel guilty that you have to do because you went crazy the night before, no, we're not gonna do it. Because that's not what I want it to be about. I don't want it to be pressure. I don't want it to be because I feel guilty. I want it to be because it's fun. I want it to be because I actually feel good. Also, like, I've been kind of paying for it. Like, I feel like, girl, I mean, it's not like we went like hard. Okay, we didn't party. It's been a while since, like, I think I had that much wine. Oh, and now I'm kind of feeling more sluggish and I'm feeling more tired, because I think when I started working out with Joe, I had maybe like a glass or 2 here and there. But that night, girl. Like we had, you know, a few glasses. At this point, my body is getting adjusted to, you know, the healthier options that I'm choosing as far as eating and how much I eat and all that kind of stuff, that it kind of went into shutdown mode the next day when I was like, I don't want to say I was hungover or anything, but it was a lot. Like I felt tired and just exhausted. Also the fact that Havla has not been napping a wink at all this week, and I'm pretty sure I shared that on my stories. So all of that combined, it was, whew, girl. I was like, no, we're taking today off. Like we're just gonna chill today and we're gonna chill the rest of the weekend. You wanna make yourself feel like you have to, girl, we're not. We're gonna do the exact opposite of what you feel like doing, because I believe for me, that's how I have to kill it. Like, what do the scriptures say? Take every thought captive. So I have to literally, even, you know, and it applies to complaining, it applies to all this other stuff, but this in particular, because this Tita asked me how I was feeling, that's kind of what I, in the last 24 to 48 hours, have been feeling like, is I need to just stop, okay? Just chill. How are you really feeling? Do you really want to do this? Are you going to have fun? Are you anticipating it? Do you look forward to it? Or do you maybe just need to take a rest and you need to chill? So we're chilling, and this is why we're recording a YouTube video, and I'm answering questions, and I'm doing makeup, because right now I probably could be doing a workout, but I'm not, because I'm not gonna go there. Like I can't go there. And I know if I start going there, that it's just gonna ruin this whole, all of this. I mean, this exercising, this journey with Grow with Joe, and doing it out of a place of joy rather than a chore. Does that make sense? All right, I just popped on some concealer. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. Fancy Beauty, honey. Fancy Beauty eavesdrop. So that's how I'm doing, girl. Thank you for asking. Favorite makeup look I've ever done. Oh, girl. Let me think about this. I think it might have been the one that I just did. And I'll post it up here for you guys to see. I haven't even posted it to my Instagram feed yet. And it was just like a brown smoky eye. I was using the Tati Beauty palette. I used this, I'm pretty sure I used this Dazzle shadow liquid on the inner corner, and I was just putting like all kinds of stuff. I just wanted it to be bright on the inside. I wanted it to be like bam in your face. And I think that might have been my favorite, because I've been obsessed with the chocolate brown face, like the chocolate dark brown. Oh, wearing it and on my eyes. Remember the one that I did, that e.l.f. liquid liner? Just the liquid liner, and I did like that inner corner like shooting star thing. Yeah, that one, yes, I love that. Yes, so that one, I love it. I don't know if it suits me, my eye shape, but it's beautiful and it's pretty, and I think it suits me just fine. All right, here's another boring fall makeup look. I also put on that glitter in the inner corner, and I put a lip liner, lipstick, and a gloss. This is MAC Strip Down Lip Pencil and LA Girl's Nudie lipstick. It's the one with the magnet cap. And then this gloss from Rimmel London in the shade Down to Gloss. I'm ready for Grandma's party tonight. At like 5 o'clock. But thanks, guys. Thank you for putting in your responses. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for just being here and catching up with me. If you did like it, or if you have any more questions, and whatever you guys want to know, just let me know and comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Look for the red pahu, look for the red box, click it and it'll say subscribed, and then look for the bell, click it, and every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you for being here today. Mahalo ke hui ana, and I will see you guys in the next video. Yo.